This is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this game got a surprise next-gen aware update. That means we've got a little bit of a bump in the resolution, a little bit of a bump in the frame rate, and the game is, looking absolutely fantastic here as we take on the streets of London, where apparently Evie is having a little bit of a problem with the local god. So it's London 1868, the heart of the Industrial Revolution. You're playing as a group of, well, siblings. So you've got Jacob and Evie Fry. They are different assassins. He's a bit reckless, he's a bit of a thug, he's a bit like somewhat he kind of wants to run London as a bit of like a gangs type perspective is his kind of goal. And you can kind of switch between the characters, so you can play as either. You have different skills and different abilities. She's supposed to be more of a stealth character, but in actuality she's kind of really brutal and ruthless, and yeah, that's kind of the two characters you have here in this game, and it's a lot of fun coming off the heels of Assassin's Creed Unity. They were definitely wanting to get performance and such fixed, and then it's nice to have this surprise update and upgrade for the game, where we're now getting a 4K resolution at 60 FPS. It's fluid, it's smooth, the visual fidelity is a lot better. I think the game looks clean and fantastic, especially on Xbox, where we really weren't getting the best of visual fidelity, and now it's great. Yeah, this is really, really great looking. I am quite happy with this. And it's nice to see that they improved, I guess you would say, the experience overall, because I wasn't really sure that we were getting this. There was like a bit of a leak a couple months back that said this was happening, and yeah, then it did, and I was like, oh wow, this is quite amazing. As I wasn't really expecting something this old to get updated. You kind of think they would just go and try to do like a little bit of a remaster, but yeah, Ubisoft really out there delivering for the fans and stuff, giving us this quick improvement to the game. I think that kind of a thing is fantastic, and I'm very happy that they were able to deliver this just quick bump up. And I think they learned a lot with Unity here, because while you're still getting like kind of dense streets and stuff, this is definitely not like Unity levels of density and crowds. I don't think we've ever actually gone back to Unity levels of density and crowds, but which is a shame, because that game was really, really quite something with what they were doing there. But anyways, yeah, Syndicate's kind of fun. It's really enjoyable. I think the resolution bump up with the frame rate is fantastic here. That 4K 60 is kind of the dream, and what we should hopefully have in most games. And I'm really hoping that maybe we get a surprise Unity upgrade as well. I know Unity kind of got the FPS boost, which is great, but yeah, it could use for sure a little bit more of a, kind of an improvement, I would say, getting that up to like a higher resolution, and maybe, well, I doubt that they're gonna like really fix crowd stuff in that, but it would be really great to have Unity get that a kind of upgrade, or even a remastering. That's where I thought they were kind of saving most of these for remaster. Like, this is a very, very late in the gen kind of quality of life improvement for this game. So to me, that is a genuine shocker. I don't know if other people are as surprised as I am, but yeah, I really didn't think they would go in this direction for it, and very appreciative that they did. Let's get a synchronization point going off here. So yeah, kind of fighting through gangs. Of course, it's it's London, but it's got that Creed flair, the Templars versus the Brotherhood. The Creed Brotherhood, and you have these different abilities and different things you can use, like different types of like vehicles and horse carriages, and Like, there's quite a lot to this, and it kind of improved upon the parkour system of Unity. Still some funny little things here or there where it's kind of like, oh, this is a bit of a pain, but you know. Also, kind of funny that someone would, like... Could you imagine seeing someone climb the top of this building? I think this is the highest point, right? Looks really good. Very clean. It's a genuinely nice improvement to this experience. I think people... Could you imagine getting down from this, too? Just, like, that fluidity and stuff makes, like, a world of difference here. Caw-caw! Oh, for a second there, I thought she was just, like, literally gonna die there. I was like, where is she going? I was like, what is she doing in this area? I'm like, where are you going there, dear? And yeah, she's fine. I didn't really want to go down to that guy, but I don't really want to drop it. Is there any way to kind of... Is there a safe way to get down? Usually when you do the leap of faith, it kind of like takes you all the way down to the lower area. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. Oh, there we go. She's fine. She's all good, guys. She's good. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Really builds your way up, play with the characters, work through the narratives, assassinate targets, do various missions, do battles with the carts, explore an expansive, unique area within the history of Assassin's Creed, which is kind of exciting. Like, there really is a lot to do, and it really does have, like, this brutal level of, like, combat to it. More cool assassination missions and setups, and just... In general, also assassination moves, they were really sort of pushing and building that where you could do all kinds of crazy, I guess you would say, like, combo battle type things. And I don't know, it's a beautiful, wondrous London location. This was at my first E3, I believe, actually. Was it? Yeah, or I think this was the first time I worked with Ubisoft at E3, was I got to go and check out Syndicate, which was awesome. And I got a shirt, and the shirt was immediately, like, torn or something like that, which is kind of funny. Oh, I got an achievement. Assassinate 50 enemies. Good for me. You just run around getting achievements for doing nothing. The game's also filled to the brim with, like, activities and stuff. Like, I'm obviously supposed to go do missions and things, but we're kind of just taking in the streets and all that. But you are supposed to actually go and, you know, actually do things. Was I just there? No, that's a different place, I think. The City of London. There we go. Let's head that way. Yeah, it was kind of neat to actually go and take a look at this early, and now I'm checking it out being upgraded. They didn't even give me like a review code back in the day for it. That's alright, Ubisoft. We're working together better now anyways. Oh, how time flies. No, it's really interesting to have an excuse to go back and play these types of games. I've been sitting there for like years being like, oh, it would be so cool to do, you know, like a stream of this, and you don't really ever have an excuse. Oh, see, here's Arcane. She's just like maniacally so powerful with this thing. It's fantastic. Like, look at her just like flow with this cane and absolutely clobber people. And you see you got like a bit of a gang influence increase kind of going on here, and they jump into your battle and your cause. Shoot through me to kill this guy. Although it's like, it is pretty crazy to do that. Wow, did I just get a 40 hit combo? Combo level 40, holy. That's kind of funny. Oh no, there was a crazy woman hitting people over there with a cane. Oh. Glad I'm out of that situation. This looks fantastic. But yeah, basically I've been wanting an excuse to kind of stream and play this for a while. It's a busy time that it sort of popped in, but needless to say, it looks really, really good. I mean, I think if we did have a remaster, it would have been a little sharper on some things, but we're just kind of getting a quick resolution bump, frame rate improvement. I have like no complaints at all about this. This is a fantastic effort, and good props to Ubisoft for getting this out the door and offering this to us gameplay-wise. Yeah. This is the type of thing that should be applauded. I wish there were a lot more older games that got this kind of a lot like love and improvement taken to them, because there's so many games where they're just sort of in this awkward, I guess you would kind of say, you know, last gen, low resolution, low frame rate kind of situation, and they're just kind of left alone, and you don't get any sort of like quality of life improvements. I really do believe firmly that giving things just like a little bit of a resolution bump up can make such a big improvement for like just kind of the attraction of getting people to come in and take a look at these games. I know frame rates are important and awesome, but the resolution bump can make just, yeah, world of improvement on stuff. This is a really lovely game. Notice some little jaggedy things in the distance and stuff, but it is really, really good looking, honestly. It holds up quite well. Very, very well, gameplay-wise. And style-wise. It's a very engaging, large-scale Assassin's Creed game. I think you'll quite like the characters in this one. Particularly her, she really does stand out to me, and I think a lot of people kind of say that as well. They mirror that thought, where she is a very interesting character, well done, good voice work. Not hating on poor Jacob there, but I think she tends to be like kind of the standout character of intrigue for a lot of people. Yeah. And this was, I think this was the last Creed they did, last full Creed they did, before they started to embrace the like role-playing type of setup, where it became a lot more open world and a lot more like the modern Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed style and aesthetic that we have today. You know, it would be so cool to see quick remasters with all these games doing ray tracing. Could you imagine that? All the windows and everything like that, all ray traced in the illumination style. Someday, perhaps. I could definitely see that be a someday thing with, like, I don't know, maybe AI would help achieve that a little faster, but you get what I mean, where I'm just sort of talking like it would be very interesting to see this like fully like ray traced, like illumination, and then like all the windows kind of reflecting things would be phenomenal. Regardless, it's still a very, 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 very good looking game. I hope we're showcasing the area of London pretty effectively. It's like a big map, but it's also weird because I'm used to maps now in Creed where you've got like sort of an outer area that's just like empty trees. It's so nice to actually be in a place that has like verticality and density to it. It feels almost forward. That's why I liked Mirage recently, because you know Mirage was our most recent new Creed as of the time of doing, you know, this video, and I quite liked that one because it allowed us to once again have a level of verticality, but in the modern era. And I thought that was so neat because, like, Assassin's Creed games really moved away from that. It's like some of the cities you have in the newer Creeds, they're cool because you can, you know, go into the city and see some verticality, but it's not as widespread as literally being in a city and actually having, like, tall buildings and lots of places to climb, and when you're getting chased, lots of buildings to run around in or run through or visit and explore. And yeah, there's like a big difference between that sort of a setup and scenario, and it's kind of funny. Oh, this looks really, really fantastic. We're just kind of climbing and taking synchronization points, but it's a good way to show off the city and give myself a little bit of progression for when I actually want to do this and do some story stuff, because there's a lot of like narrative and missions and side things and chests and items, and you know, Assassin's Creed's the ultimate like sort of collectathon, as to say. You know, it's that just that template that became the Ubisoft game, where you go and you do 4 billion, you know, side things. Like, there's a main story, of course, and a main narrative, but then yeah, you get like sidetracked forever as you go around collecting and gathering stuff. And I think this was still one you could kind of complete, if that makes sense. Like, I knew people that were completing them up to Unity for sure. I think this one too was kind of completable if you actually wanted to grab all the chests and stuff. Like, it was pretty ridiculous, but it's not like it is now where it's just, you know, completely never-ending ridiculousness. I love having these crowds, but you could definitely tell the crowds are toned down from Unity, which is hilarious. Ubisoft certainly learned their lesson pushing the boundaries like that. Which sucks too, because Unity really was groundbreaking for how you were able to actually, like, move through just massive realistic city crowds, and it's a shame that that tech really doesn't go as hard. Like, in this game it's pretty good. Like, this looks realistic enough for the amount of people here, but if you haven't seen Unity, check out my Unity video where I talk about the FPS boost, because that is quite something in that one. Quite something indeed. Oh, all the smokestacks, the Industrial Revolution. I also love that too, because like when you're going around in this place, like there's the like the children, like workers and stuff too, which is well, I wouldn't call it hilarious, but you know, it is interesting because that was the thing of the time, right? Was the child workers. Could you imagine jumping off of this in real life? I literally couldn't do that. Well, I couldn't even get to the top of this tower because of my heights, how terrified I am of heights, but, like, just, you know, kind of imagine doing that. Like, the free fall from that location would be absolutely amazing. It's also neat that they kind of went with, like, a bit of a Grand Theft Auto kind of thing, where it's like, you know, you steal carts, and it's kind of like GTA London, Victorian London era, which is kind of funny. Let's go over here to the core of the London area, and it should also, with it being such a historically focused Assassin's Creed game, there should definitely be a big push for how, like, actually historically accurate this stuff is. Like, there were things that they changed, but this was still part of the Creeds where they did have some level of groundedness to it. You know, it wasn't just, like, silly, crazy mythology things like griffins and stuff, but actually, like, somewhat based in reality. Like, these are people that could have plausibly been doing stuff, but, yeah. The time for grounded Creed has ended anyways. That's just how she goes. Well, would you look at this beautiful place? That's a bit of an iconic area. Did I plan this out beautifully to showcase you all the great sights of London? No way. Now, there's a lot more to see in the city. You could spend countless hours just going around exploring and doing things. Obviously, but we'll have to do like a full stream adventure when the moment opens up my calendar for that kind of a thing. But it was mostly just to showcase you the beautiful improvement to this. Really just like a good celebration of this cool game. Hopefully this encourages people to check this out and play it, because I do think it's a really cool create. And again, it is one of the, I'm pretty sure it is the last one before they went for the big revamp in how they handle Assassin's Creed games. So it is something that is a bit of a changing of the guard of the Creed experience and franchise, which is, you know, quite amazing to think about how much the series has changed. How like long ago this was too. This game's actually like pretty old now. Wow, look at all the boats. That's a lot of boats. Like an insane amount of boats. Look at all of them. I guess that's so you could like parkour across them. There is a crazy amount of density in this game. This is a genuinely impressive offering. What am I leap of faithing into? I feel like you die from that. Am I crazy for thinking those leaves would not at all break or fall and you would just be like mangled on the ground like in excruciating pain? That's quite a jump. I mean, it's the leap of faith, so it's supposed to be, you know, part of your creed and all that, but that is quite a jump. Remember the good old days when you could walk into the, you know, the palace and all that, and no one would even cause any problems, and they'd all be like, "Oh, look at you coming in here and stuff," and you know,